All right, then, let's go to our next story. You know, the Apex Igbo cultural group, the Ohanaeze Ndigbo, like a Daniel come to judgment, has appealed to residents in the southeast zone to ignore the sit-at-home directive by the separatist group, the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. Now, leader of the group, Nnamdi Kanu, if you recall, had increased tension in the region after he was seized in Kenya on 29th June 2021. The group noted that the sit-at-home order had the tendency of destroying the economic life of the people and hamper efforts aimed at reaching a diplomatic solution to the conflict. The Chidi Ibe-led faction of the Ohanaeze prevailed on the federal government to release Kanu as a way of averting a breakdown of law and order. Paul, but the guy is in court.
Yes, he's in court, but the costs of the sit-at-home is serious. People have lost much money, has lost. The economy of that place has been affected. And even when, there were times that IPOB even said, okay, we have lifted the sit-at-home, and you still see people not going out because it looks like there are some other groups. Some other groups
have infiltrated.
Exactly. But the truth of the matter is, the people of the southeast, whether they are IPOB or not IPOB, are interested. Every sane Southeastern, every sane Nigeria is interested in the prosperity of their region. And it is still their people that are suffering. And it also shows, to me, it shows that people can be persuaded. People can actually be persuaded. People are reasonable when you persuade them. You may, no matter how much you look at IPOB, no matter how much you think the jury is out on them, people have opinions, divergent opinions on them. I still want to know that there are reasonable people there who would say, okay, fine, this is affecting my brother or my sister, affecting the trade of my brother, affecting the business of my sister. So it's fine. Whether Nnamdi Kanu is in court or not, the truth of the matter is that sit-at-home is not sustainable. It can't go on forever. So I really commend the IPOB for now for listening to voice of wisdom and then taking that action.
Okay.
So I commend them, and I commend Ohanaeze, the leaders of Ohanaeze leaders for persuading, those who are very aggrieved that please let life go on.
Yeah, GKP, but I'm looking at let Kanu walk home, a free man.
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is commend the Ohanaeze for being proactive. Because until a few months ago or a few weeks ago, they've allowed the IPOB directive to control the narrative of the Southeast. But in the last 2 weeks, they've been very proactive. They've met with the president. They've made demands for a political solution. And then they've also talked directly to their people. They've shown leadership, which is what we've been asking for on this program for weeks. Because people cannot simply be left leaderless, rudderless, to be controlled by street gangs. People without no vocation will now be the one telling such a distinguished set of people how to live their lives on a Monday. And the danger is that either they want to obey or not, they've not seen any concerted efforts by elected leadership to really enforce their movement on Mondays. So I'm very happy for the 2-3 steps they've taken. One, they've started their leadership of the region by looking for a political solution. And second, they've been moving in the right direction by telling people what they need to do within the space of time. Not only on this Monday, they must be consistent every Monday to let people know that they must go out. And the only way to solve this problem is being tackled by those who are mandated to solve the problem.
Yeah. Paul, but you know, let's try this for size. It is the right of a people to feel a sense of separation. I take you to Western Cameroon, you know, which is it Ambazonian? It is their right, but then there are laid down procedures for achieving such a separation.
Definitely there are, but sometimes when people feel that their patience has run its course, it's like when you are pushing someone, you push someone against the wall, the back is already against the wall, you are still pushing them. They would probably want to push you back. Of course, where there is dialogue, of course, you remember that the struggle for secession in the Southeast didn't start with IPOB. You had a MASOB, okay?
Yeah.
But things died down. But later, when some people felt they were shortchanged or they were not listened to, they were marginalized, and there were no visible moves or convincing moves for them to be placated, for them to be met, and all of for dialogue. There are no convincing on the part of government. At some point, they felt what they should do is to just. I will not speak for them. I am not saying it's the right thing, but we are just saying, I just want to acknowledge, consider this happened.
Yeah.
It has happened in nations. And it keeps happening over and over again. It may not be the best, but when dialogue, the part of dialogue is not pursued, then what you might have is chaos and violence. I don't know, I should say something about, you talk about your desire to have Nnamdi Kanu released or something.
No. The Ohanaeze, a faction.
Okay, I know about that.
Saying,
yeah,
release Nnamdi Kanu, but I insist the process that it has to go through processes.
No. The truth of the matter is, it depends on how the president and government looks at it. If I heard what he said when they met him, he said, it doesn't interfere with the judiciary. But the truth of the matter is, the Attorney General of the Federation has what they call noli prosecute. That's the noli prosecute privileges. You can tell the court that you want to discontinue the prosecution, and you don't even have to give any reason.
Yeah.
So it's not tampering with the judiciary. It's about, I don't want to, as a gesture of goodwill, I don't want to do it. But then I'm sure there are a lot of things for them to consider. If we do it, what is the implication?
Yeah.
You understand? Is he going to agree to a gentleman's solution? Those are some of the things they have to consider, but it is doable. Honestly, we need friendship. We need cooperation. We don't need more violence. So if there's a way the matter of Nnamdi Kanu can be resolved without prosecution,
politically or diplomatically,
it's fine. I'm all for it.
Let's welcome Olalade, this time in Lagos. Olalade, good evening to you.
Good evening. How are you, august citizen?
Yeah, I greet you. Welcome.
I'm sorry, I have to put you back for the first episode you treated before this one. You mentioned something very important, that we should not be discussing strategy or anything about security on TV.
Or counter moves and so on, yeah.
Exactly. There was a day, and I'm very sorry to say this. I sat down on a TV. I saw Jide inviting a security officer, talking about Kanu, what Kanu can do for 2 hours. Does that help our security?
Okay.
No. I think he was talking about the capacity,
perhaps
of the machine. Not the way they were to be deployed.
Was he talking to somebody who should know?
He was not talking about how we are going to deploy
the truth of the matter is,
he was talking about how they are going to.
Jide is not in the military. He doesn't have to know what their next move.
Yeah, but mine is, if you are planning a counter against bandits or insurgents.
Don't tell us.
We must not know. Just do the thing.
Absolutely, I agree to that.
I think the Yorubas, you people, GKB, you will help me here. If you use 40 years to practice madness,
how long are you going to practice
the real deal?
Yeah. So 40 years to rehearse.
How
long do you now practice?
Yeah.
I think the challenge we face as a nation, and I've said it before, even on radio, we talk too much. We have this vague sense of importance. If we are quoted, even on things that we know absolutely nothing about.
Yeah.
It's a disease. And it's not peculiar to the military.
GKB, apart from that, we indulge a lot in monkey business. It's only a monkey that will borrow the money he does not need to buy the things he does not require to impress people who don't like him. So back to Nnamdi Kanu,
Yeah,
so,
back to Nnamdi and the Sunday Go and any other people
and their cousins
of that ilk.
Yeah.
I think the government, I don't want to say the president, I think this government is misreading the dilemma that we are in as a nation. When he was asked clearly about marginalization and lack of inclusiveness, he said that there are 36 ministers. I said, that's not the definition of inclusiveness. It's a perception. If I don't feel I belong, then I don't belong. Sometimes people are happy just to see somebody who looks like them, who speak like them, who talk their language, in a position of power. It's not going to do anything for them physically. Just the idea that there's a perception that we are there.
Our Pekin day there.
Now one of our own, as we say in Ibadan, shun of the soil.
Yeah. How many of them have access to that Pekin? How many of them can?
No, that's what I'm saying. I said it's the perception.
Exactly. No.
They don't really care.
They don't care
what
if
he does.
they have access.
They don't care about access. They don't even want to see him. They just want to wake up and hear on the radio that the president is our son, or the vice president is our son, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
They may not even have access to him for 8 years.
GKB, you and Paul can be in the saddle tomorrow as governor, as name it.
Or me as president.
As president. Yeah, but you, okay, join a party first. But then, who you hire to do a particular job is at your, discretion.
Yes, true. The truth of the matter is there are some realities with us. The realities are, we want to know how many people are Yorubas there, how many people are Igbos, how many people are Christians, how many people are Muslims. It is the way we are. We have to put that into consideration in what we do. There are competent people in every...
Well, so the people who wrote the Constitution didn't think that way? You are thinking for them?
I'm talking about our realities. Constitution or no constitution, it's our reality. This is a kind of thing that can hit up the polity. So if you can avoid the polity from being heated by fostering doing things that foster inclusiveness, why not? Why do you want to keep tempting the tempter to tempt you, or you are troubling trouble? You understand? Why don't you just, because if your disposition at some point, I was almost thinking that the president was more of an emir of Arewa land than the president of Nigeria. Okay? And then when you were confronted, you were talking about, you were bringing in the dot in the circle, then what's it called, dot in the circle notion, and all of that. Those are unpresidential statements.
And Nigerians went to town
with it. You don't do that. People are listening, people are wise. Your disposition, sometimes, it's not even what you say. It is what you say, what your silence says.
Or what you didn't say.
What you didn't say. Thank you very much. So, all of these put together, there must be a way of changing these things.
Okay, there certainly are. Benga from Abuja is with us. Yes. Good evening, Benga.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening, John.
Yeah.
And good evening, gentlemen there.
Yes, good
the
evening.
demand of the leaders of the Southeast to release Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally is a very hard something. But I want to ask, where were these leaders when this thing was starting? Where were they when unknown gunmen, all these things were harassing people, killing soldiers, burning government property and institutions? If they had done the right thing at the beginning, this is where we were today. When Kanu was overseas, giving instruction for people to kill policemen, where were they? If the government should release him become unconditionally as the actor, he had an indication that anybody in this country or in can put anybody close to ransom and say, if you don't do this for us, nobody will go out.
Benga.
I don't know how the president will handle it. They're very dead that anybody can hold the government ransom. That look, sit at home. If they don't give up, nothing will happen in this region.
Thank you, Benga. Thank you. We share your sentiments, gentlemen. But we know if we get to a stage in our country where a group of people will elect to be appeased. What's the English word now? I've forgotten it.
Appeased.
Appeased. So it's not about appeasing a people. It's about making a people feel a sense of belonging.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's it.
That's the key word. I remember that at a point in time,
the word I was looking for is propitious, when the people become propitious, yeah.
Because I remember that at a point in time, federal appointments are based on zones. And at a point in time, they will tell you that you already have the senator, so you cannot have a commissioner from that zone, even at state level. So it's a matter of us using that as a tool to bring everybody on board. About what Boyega said, of course, but there are sometimes you have to do the unlikely for the greater good.
Yeah.
Because you can insist on the legislative termination or the judicial termination of a crime. But then you look at the end of the day, what will be the solution?
All right, the solution is to go to the next story.
Yeah.